I'm sick and tired of paying bills.
Saying he'll make a decision within the next 2 weeks.
My sheep hear my voice, and the stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
For to the one who pleases him, Elohim has given wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he has given the business of gathering and collecting, only to give to the one who pleases Elohim.
Time is drawing near. More and more pressure is applied.
Homelessness is not a new issue, but it is one that often doesn't receive a lot of attention.
Temptation is coming left and right.
A band of international outlaws hit Valley ATMs and other money machines across the state.
Shalom, family. Welcome to this new day. Yah brought the sheep to this place at this very moment to be with him. Hallelujah. In our last Straight Talk Narrow Road, we discussed
obstacles on the narrow road, the joy of choosing the narrow road, support from community on the narrow road, faith and trust on the narrow road, rewards of walking the narrow road,
and lastly,
steadfast on the narrow road.
We're living in some exciting times, Israel, with prophecy taking place right in front of us. To break our focus from the Most High Yah, trials and temptations are coming, so our brother James tells us,
Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which Elohim has promised to those who love him.
The enemy will attempt to break us away from walking with the Chief Shepherd. So this is why we have this straight talk, staying on the narrow road. Have you ever wondered why, when we try to walk in the ways of Yah, and when we try to fast, or when we try to spend one-on-one with ABBA YAH, that obstacles seem to come out of nowhere and from everywhere? I'm sure this is resonating with most of us here today. This is the enemy trying to get us to step out of the path of righteousness and away from the safety of the Most High Yah, our Chief Shepherd. To encourage the family here, let's look closely at how our forefathers stayed on the narrow road by walking with and staying focused on ABBA YAH. The book of Genesis, chapter 6, reminds us
And it came to be, when men began to increase on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men, that they were good. And they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And ABBA YAH said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever in his going astray. He is flesh, and his days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of the Most High came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, the men of name. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And Yah was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. And ABBA YAH said, I am going to wipe off man, whom I have created, from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping creature, and birds of the heavens. For I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of Yah. Noah was a righteous man, perfect in his generation. Noah walked with the chief shepherd, ABBA YAH.
We see in verse 9 that Noah was a righteous man in his generation. In the book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 13, we also see that Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. Yah gave man 120 years to get on the narrow road. He had Noah and Methuselah to preach to them, but they chose the wide road. Let's see what Noah told them just as the rain came and the ark was about to close. Joshua chapter 6 verses 17 to 25 reminds us,
The sons of men assembled together, about 700,000 men and women, and they came unto Noah to the ark. And they called Noah, saying, Open for us, that we may come to you in the ark. And Noah with a loud voice answered them from the ark, saying, Have you not all rebelled against the Most High Yah, and said that he does not exist? And therefore Abba brought upon you this evil, to destroy and cut you off from the face of the earth. Is it not the thing that I spoke to you of 120 years back, and you will not hearken to the voice of Yah? And now you do desire to live upon the earth? And they said to Noah, We are ready to return to Abba Yah. Only open for us that we may live and not die. And Noah answered them, saying, Now that you see the troubles of your soul, you wish to return to the Most High? Why did you not return during these 120 years, which Abba granted you as the determined period? But now you come and tell me this on account of the troubles of your soul. Now also Yah will not listen to you, neither will he give ear to you on this day, so that you will not now succeed in your wishes. And the sons of men approached in order to break into the ark, to come in on account of the rain, for they could not bear the rain upon them. So Abba sent all the beasts and animals that stood round the ark, and the beasts empowered them, and drove them from that place, and every man went his way. And they again scattered themselves upon the face of the earth.
Even though the whole world chose not to follow Yah, we see that Noah chose to stay on the narrow road despite the opposition. This lets us know that we, the chosen, may have to walk alone sometimes in order to stay on the narrow road. Let's go deeper into this straight talk by looking in this same book of Joshua, but this time in chapter 11.
And Nimrod, son of Cush, was still in the land of Shinar, and he reigned over it, and dwelt there. And he built cities in the land of Shinar. Nimrod did not walk in the ways of Yah, and he continued in wickedness, and teaching wickedness to the sons of men. And in the 50th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah, Abram came forth from the house of Noah, and went to his father's house. And Abram knew ABBA YAH, and he walked in his ways and instructions. And the Most High, our chief shepherd, was with him. And Terah, his father, was in those days still captain of the host of King Nimrod, and he still followed strange gods. And Abram came to his father's house and saw 12 gods standing there in their temples. And the anger of Abram was kindled when he saw these images in his father's house. And Abram said, As Yah lives, these images shall not remain in my father's house. And Abram asked his father, saying, Father, tell me, where is the Creator of heaven and earth, and all the sons of men upon earth? And Terah answered his son Abram and said, Behold, those who created us are all with us in the house. The whole room was full of gods of wood and stone, 12 great images, and others less than they without number. And Terah said to his son, These gods are they which made all you see upon earth, and which created me and you and all mankind. Terah bowed down to his gods, and he then went away from them. And Abram, his son, went away with him. Abram later offered the gods food to mock them, knowing they could not eat, see, neither could they talk. He took a hatchet in his hand, came into the chamber of the gods, and he broke all his father's gods. He then placed the hatchet in the hand of the great God, which was there before them. Terah entered the room and found all the idols fallen down and broken, and the hatchet in the hand of the largest, which was not broken, and the savory meat which Abram his son had put before them. Terah asked, What is this work you have done to my gods? Abram said, The big God did this because the others did not eat the food that was put before them. Terah was angry and said, Is there in these gods a spirit, soul, or power to do all that you told me? Are they not wood and stone? And have I not myself made them? Is it you that didst place the hatchet in his hands after breaking the others? And Abram said to his father, How can you then serve these idols in whom there is no power to do anything? Can those idols in which you trust deliver you? Can they hear your prayers when you call upon them? Can they deliver you from the hands of your enemies? Or will they fight your battles for you against your enemies, that you should serve wood and stone, which can neither speak nor hear? How can you continue to serve these gods?
We see Nimrod had people of many cities doing wickedness. Even though Terah, the father of Abram, was making and selling gods, Abram continued staying on the narrow road because he walked only in the ways of ABBA YAH. There are times the chosen may slip and fall, but in such cases, we must quickly get back up and into the righteous path of the Most High Yah. A great story to demonstrate this slip starts at 2 Samuel 11, which needs to be read with Yah by our side for guidance. Most of us have read of Adam and Eve getting off the narrow road, and there are many other stories as such. Bringing this straight talk home, we're going into the book of Tobit. in which we can pull up online.
Tobit of the tribe of Naphtali walked in the ways of truth and righteousness all the days of his life.
I am Tobit, and this is the story of my life. My father was Tobiel, my grandfather was Ananiel, and my great-grandfather was Aduel. Aduel's father was Gabael, his grandfather was Raphael, and his great-grandfather was Ragel, who belonged to the clan of Aziel, a part of the tribe of Naphtali. During the time that Shalmaneser was emperor of Assyria, I was taken captive in my hometown of Thisbe, located in northern Galilee, south of Kadesh in Naphtali, northwest of Hazor, and north of Foga. All my life I have been honest and have tried to do what was right. I often gave money to help needy relatives and other Jews who had been deported with me to Nineveh, the capital of Assyria. When I was young, I lived in northern Israel. All the tribes in Israel were supposed to offer sacrifices in Jerusalem. It was the one city that God had chosen from among all the Israelite cities as the place where his temple was to be built for his holy and eternal home. But my entire tribe of Naphtali rejected the city of Jerusalem, and the kings descended from David. Like everyone else in this tribe, my own family used to go to the city of Dan in the mountains of northern Galilee to offer sacrifices to the gold bull calf which King Jeroboam of Israel had set up there. I was the only one in my family who regularly went to Jerusalem to celebrate the religious festivals, as the law of Moses commands everyone to do. I would hurry off to Jerusalem with the first part of my harvest, the firstborn of my animals, a tenth of my cattle, and the freshly clipped wool from my sheep. Then I would stand before the altar in the temple and give these offerings to the priests, the descendants of Aaron. I would give a tenth of my grain, wine, olive oil, pomegranates, figs, and other fruits to the Levites who served God in Jerusalem. Every year, except the 7th year when the land was at rest, I would sell a second tenth of my possessions and spend the money in Jerusalem on the festival meal. But every 3rd year, I would give a 3rd tithe to widows and orphans and to foreigners living among my people, and we would eat the festival meal together. I did this in keeping with the law of Moses, which Deborah, the mother of my grandfather Ananiel, had taught me to obey. I had been left an orphan when my father died. Took good care of my own people whenever they were in need. If they were hungry, I shared my food with them. If they needed clothes, I gave them some of my own. Whenever I saw that the dead body of one of my people had been thrown outside the city wall, I gave it a decent burial. Sennacherib later searched for the bodies. He could not find them. Then someone from Nineveh told the emperor that I was the one who had been burying his victims. As soon as I realized that the emperor knew all about me and that my life was in danger, I became frightened. So I ran away and hid. Everything I owned was seized and put in the royal treasury. My wife Anna and my son Tobias were all I had left. It was a hot night, and I did not pull the cover up over my head. Sparrows were on the wall right above me, but I did not know it. Their warm droppings fell into my eyes, causing a white film to form on them. I went to one doctor after another, but the more they treated me with their medicines, the worse my eyes became, till finally I was completely blind. For 4 years I could see nothing. I prayed.
There was also Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, whose 7 husbands had been killed by a jealous spirit. She thought to kill herself, but she began to pray to the Most High Yah as well. ABBA YAH heard both their prayers, so Yah sent Raphael to heal them both. Tobit taught his son and told him to walk in the righteous ways of Yah. His son Tobias was sent to collect 10 talents from Gabael, so Yah sent the angel Raphael to go with him. Raphael told Tobias to catch a fish and keep the heart, liver, and the gall. He was told how to use the heart and the liver to rid off an evil spirit. The gall was used to anoint a man with whiteness in his eyes. The angel told Tobias how to use the heart and liver to make the evil spirit flee that killed Sarah's 7 husbands. Hearing the messenger and being obedient, he was not killed by the evil spirit, so Sarah became his wife. Tobias also heard the instructions about healing his father's eyes from the messenger, Raphael. Because Tobias was obedient, his father Tobit regained back his eyesight. The angel Raphael talked to them both about staying on the narrow road. Tobit then wrote a prayer of rejoicing to the Most High Yah. At an old age, he called his son and grandsons to give them instructions. Tobit then died at the age of 158 years old.
When reading the book of Tobit, we see the 5 attributes of hearing, obedience, faith, works, and prayer being used over and over. Chapter 1 and verse 3 tells us that Tobit walked all the days of his life in the ways of the Most High. This is staying on the narrow road. We also see how Tobit and his son were able to get miracles done by Yah while staying on the narrow road. I encourage all the sheep here to read the book of Tobit to see how Yah worked in his life during the time our forefathers were captives in Assyria. Now, to all those who made it here to this street talk, staying on the narrow road, there is meaning in here directly for each of us, Yah's chosen sheep. This is only a street talk. The real lesson comes from sitting with Yah one-on-one and reading the entire stories mentioned here. So many voices are all around us, making unnecessary noises. So the chosen sheep must lie down in the green pasture and tune only into the Chief Shepherd, ABBA YAH, the Creator. Think deeply upon this, Yisrael. Think of what one-on-one with Yah really means. Be sober, be watchful, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in the belief, knowing that the same hardships are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. We've left some helpful links down in the description box below. Feel free to leave some helpful comments for the sheep. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. So the next time the modern day Pharaoh exercises his power to confuse and scatter the sheep with fear, just remember, Yah says,
But now hear, O Jacob my servant, Israel whom I have chosen. Thus says Yah, who made you, who formed you from the womb and will help you. Fear not, O Jacob my servant, Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, all the remnant of the house of Israel, who have been born by me from before your birth, carried from the womb, even to your old age I am he, and to gray hairs I will carry you. I have made and I will bear. I will carry and will save.
Shalom, and stay strong.